Behind the Red Line, Episode 54, The Akron Backpage Attacker Shooting. In December of 2017, inside a rented house in Akron, Ohio, an escort answered a call from a new client, a routine job, a normal night, nothing unusual, until he locked the door behind him, until he pulled a weapon, until she realized she wasn't leaving alive. What happened next would spread through sex worker forums like wildfire. Screenshots, warnings, retellings passed in whispers. A client tried to kill her. She shot him instead, and for once, the survivor lived. This is Behind the Red Line. Episode 54, The Akron Backpage Attacker Shooting. In 2017, Backpage was still alive. The neon-lit underworld of online ads, constant risk, and the unspoken agreement that women working alone were their own first responders. No security, no screening, no one checking IDs at the door. Just trust, instinct, and sometimes a weapon. The escort at the center of this story, unnamed publicly for her safety, did what many women did to survive. She answered ads. She screened as best she could. She worked indoors to avoid street-level predators. But predators adapt. They always do. The man contacted her through Backpage. Short responses, polite tone, said he wanted an hour. Nothing alarming, no red flags. He sent the address. A residential neighborhood in Akron. Not a motel, not an abandoned building. Sometimes the most dangerous people hide behind normalcy. She drove there, parked, checked her hair in the visor mirror, took a deep breath, told herself just another call. It wouldn't be. When she stepped inside, the first thing she noticed was the silence. No TV, no music, no background noise. He greeted her politely, too politely, smiling the way people smile when they're rehearsing. The lights were dim, the curtains drawn, the kind of room designed to hide things. Still nothing overtly dangerous, until he locked the door and put the key in his pocket. That was when her heart dropped. He told her he wasn't going to pay. Told her she wasn't going anywhere. Told her he had plans. Then he reached into a drawer. He pulled out something heavy, metallic, a weapon. She backed up, hands shaking, trying to talk him down, trying to figure out if this was robbery or torture or the beginning of the end. He lunged, grabbed her arm, shoved her onto the bed. She knew in that moment this wasn't a bluff. She was about to be killed. She fought like someone who had fought before, scratching, kicking, clawing, twisting her body out of his grip. But he was stronger. He pinned her, pressed the weapon against her, told her he didn't care if she screamed. At that moment, survival stopped being a theory. It became instinct. She got one hand free, reached into her bag, felt something cold, tucked between makeup and wipes. Her gun. She didn't think. She reacted. The sound was louder than she expected, echoing off the hollow walls of the rental house. He froze, a single red bloom spreading across his shirt. He staggered backward, dropped the weapon, collapsed. She crawled across the carpet to grab her phone. Hands shaking, breath ragged, vision blurred. She called 911, not to flee, not to hide, but to report that she had just survived the unthinkable. Police expected a homicide. What they found instead was a woman with bruises up her arms, blood on her shirt, and a weapon still on the floor beside the attacker. She told them everything, every detail, every threat, every second she believed she would die. And for once, they believed her. The evidence was overwhelming. Forced confinement, physical assault, her injuries consistent with the attack. A predator had finally picked the wrong woman. News trickled into online forums first. Backpage groups, private Facebook circles, escort safety boards. The story spread like smoke. A woman in Akron shot a client who tried to kill her. She survived. She walked out alive. In a community that loses women at horrifying rates, this wasn't just news. It was a spark of hope. Her case went viral among sex worker circles, shared as a warning, a lesson, and a reminder. Sometimes survival means fighting back. Mainstream media barely covered it because stories where we survive don't make headlines. The district attorney reviewed the evidence. Self-defense, clear as day. No charges, no trial, no cage for the woman who refused to die. She walked free, shaken, changed, scarred, but free. She didn't become a headline. She didn't become a statistic. She didn't become another woman found dead in a locked room. She fought. She lived. And she left behind a warning. Not every victim goes quietly. Some pull the trigger. This is Behind the Red Line, Episode 54, The Akron Backpage Attacker Shooting.